Welcome to the last Kits and Cruising of the present run. Today we go to the NSRA Supernationals, but first...
Hello and welcome to the Kit and Specialist Car Show here at Kempton Park. This show fills the hole left in the calendar by the demise of the old Sandown Park show. It's the first kit car show at this venue, so we've come along to take a good look around. This is Terry Mathews from Marlin, and this is the Sportster that's just been relaunched as a kit package. Terry, this is a beautiful piece of machinery. Please tell us all about it.
Okay. Well, the car's always done very well, but we felt that we needed to actually encourage a few more people that wanted to come in at a sort of different entry level, if you like. So what we've done is we've actually created a lot of modular packages for the car. So if you want a front or rear suspension, we can supply that for you. We can supply it in sort of little sets. You can decide how much money you want to spend. The chassis entry level is a lot cheaper now as well. So it just means you don't have to have pieces sort of stored away in your garage that you're not using until you need them. We can also sell everything individually, but we just find that people need to know what they need, and if they want to buy it from us as like a kit in a box, if you like, it's there for them. And one of the things we've also done is actually made a proper screen now, because we have aero screens as well. But this is actually a very unique tilt and slide windscreen, and you can actually have it upright, and when it's upright you can actually have a proper roof on there with sort of side zip screens, so it makes it a lot more practical to use. So we feel that makes Marlin a little bit different, and we like to be a bit different. Of course you do. Yes, and it keeps us out in front, which is very important. So we're absolutely delighted, and the modular packaging system that we're doing is actually being received extremely well. So we feel we've done it right yet again.
It's working.
It is indeed.
Terry,
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you for your time.
A few months ago, Chris Goffey went to look at the Sportster, and this is what he thought.
Now I have to admit I'm a classic car enthusiast. My car is a 1947 Citroën Traction, and much as I love it, I'd be the first to admit it's hardly practical everyday transport. It boils in traffic, it's got heavy steering, and it's very difficult to park in city conditions. So how would it be if you had a classic looking car equipped with modern running gear that kept up with everyday traffic and also satisfied current safety and emission laws? Not a new idea, of course, in the sports car field. Well, Morgan has been doing that for years, Panther tried it with the Callista, and Caterham are still very successful with the brilliant old 7. And here's another variation on the theme from a company called Marlin. Marlin's history goes back to the late 70s as suppliers of upmarket kit cars. But today they want to be regarded as manufacturers of brand new turnkey sports cars. So how does something like this compare to competition like the MGF or Mazda's MX-5? Well, in the first place, although it looks like a traditional sports car body mounted on a separate chassis, in fact this is a semi-monocoque design. It's a proper passenger safety cell with crushable front and crushable rear end. And under the bonnet, well, there's a surprise. Powering this Marlin Sportster is a 2.8 litre straight-six BMW developing around 190 brake horsepower and mated to a BMW 5-speed gearbox. In a car of this size and weight, that obviously means serious performance. Traditional bonnet locks, but very modern looking suspension, double wishbone and Ford hubs and components, and in here huge ventilated 4-pot caliper Ford disc brakes. At the back, Ford independent rear suspension with a chassis mounted differential, and again ventilated disc brakes. So much for the technical side. How does it go? As you'd expect from fat wheels shod with ultra-sticky Toyo tyres, ultimate road holding is very high, but it's the ride that impresses. Smooth and relatively soft, none of the crashing from pothole to pothole you get in a Morgan, for instance. Steering is light and precise, and since you can watch the front wheel through a corner, you can place it to an inch. The power delivery is typically BMW, smooth power right up to the red line and lots of torque for relaxed cruising. You do get blown around a lot with the aero screens, but the car comes with a windscreen and hood if you so desire. Marlin's very well built. It's a strong chassis and there's a pleasing absence of shakes and rattles. With the BMW engine, this one retails for a shade over £23,000, which is a lot of money when you consider what an MGF or an MX-5 costs. With the Ford 4-cylinder 2.3 litre engine, well, it comes in at under 20,000, and that makes a lot more sense. Against that, you get a car that can be tailor-built to exactly your own specification. You certainly won't see another one on the high street next to you, and if you're into weekend motorsport, well, this is the car for you.
Chesil are here, but I've already been down to Dorset to take a closer look. The Porsche 356 design is 50 years old this year. It was their first model which established their reputation. So what better way to celebrate than to build something which evokes the spirit of the most famous 356, the Speedster. This is Peter from Chesil. How close is the Chesil to the 50s Classic to drive?
Well, it's on the same suspension system, very similar, so it's very similar to drive, although we've improved the suspension. So in fact, it drives more like a modern car, but still with a bit of fun.
And what's involved in putting one together, and can anybody do it?
Looks daunting, I know, but in fact, with the aid of a build manual, you can go through and work stage by stage, and it's quite straightforward.
Right. And do you build cars for customers?
Yes, we do. It's an area which we're doing more and more of, and people are looking for more fun cars. So we are producing quite a few now.
Great. And what would it cost to build yourself, or if the company does it for you?
If you had to build it yourself, it would probably cost you around about £10,000 to £12,000. If we did it, we would probably charge around 17 plus, depending upon the specification of the car you want, whether you want leather and special paintwork and things like that.
Okay, Peter, less chat, let's go for a drive.
Good idea.
Okay, Pete, so what is the message that you try to get across about the industry?
Well, we're unique here in the UK. In fact, we're unique in Europe and in fact the world in having an industry which specialises in making small, interesting cars. We've always been berated producing these cars because people consider them to be of poor quality. But in fact, there are some manufacturers who make some cracking cars, kits that can be built, or in fact even complete cars that are to the same standard as the major manufacturers. And some of the designs are, dare I say, better. And so it's really up to the public to get hold of these cars, come and have a look, try them out and test them, and see what an exciting world there is out there of interesting, exciting cars and drivable cars for the road.
Okay, Pete, thank you very much. You can go now. This Chesil takes you back to the 50s in a wonderful way. It may not be the quickest thing out there, but when you're driving one, all you want to do is cruise in it anyway. This is Neil Foreman of NF Auto Development, and for a few years now they've been producing the Foreman Mark IV. They've now introduced the Can-Am.
The Can-Am is an introduction that we've recently put into production. It's styled in the essence of the Can-Am cars of the late 60s that raced in the Canadian-American series in America. The car here is powered by an American Chevrolet engine, 5.7 litres, 350 brake horsepower. It's fiberglass, it's very light, very fast, and it handles as well as the originals. It can be purchased for around £30,000 from the factory, or you can build one yourself for around 20.
Well, that was just a brief look at what went on during Saturday. Donington is the next big show in September, and our sister programme, Four Wheels Good, will be there, so come along.
In part 2, we look back to this year's Newark Show with Penn.
Hello and welcome to the Newark Kit Car Show 1998. This is the big one for club enthusiasts. Launched at the Newark Show this year is the Royale Windsor. One hell of a piece of machinery. Comes from the Royale Motor Company, based on a 1985 onwards Granada for $4,700. You've got a real bargain on your hands. The other new car to be launched at the Newark Show this year is this, the Sector 3 Savant 175. What's different about this car is the quality and the price. $4,250 plus the VAT plus a Sierra Mark II makes this car a real winner. I'm here at the Newark Show with the lovely Katie Ann Day, Page 3 model and TV presenter. Katie Ann, you're here opening the show, but I think you've actually got something to confess to us, haven't you?
Oh, I don't know what you mean, Pen, but yes, I have actually.
Go on then.
Okay, here it goes. My Porsche 911 is a Covin.
A Covin?
Yes, a kit car.
Wow, and you actually had a Porsche 911, I believe.
I did indeed, but it was rather expensive to run. So I thought, I'm going for the next best option, which is a kit car. And it's fab.
You had a real Porsche, and you sold it in favour of a Covin. Now, just why?
Well, to be honest, it was the expense. I found the Porsche 911 gorgeous, but the kit car is a lot, or should I say the Covin, is a lot cheaper to run. The expenses are a lot lower, and it looks just as gorgeous. It looks the same. Nobody knows any different.
It's a wonderful show, the Newark Show. You can see all sorts of fantastic things when you walk around the fields, and this in particular has caught our eye. It's a Nova, but not like a Nova I've ever seen before. I'm with its owner, Frank Fernando. Frank, tell me a bit about the car.
It's a car that I purchased over 16 years ago and completely rebuilt. It's been rebuilt 3 times in that period of time to basically get it to the stage that I'm satisfied, which is in its present condition.
It's fantastic. There's so many different modifications to the original.
Yeah, the main modifications really are the body styling is very much similar to the existing Novas. I've got the pop-up headlights, which are a little bit unusual, certainly for this car, and the air intakes for the cooling for the turbo.
Turbo?
Yes, it's powered by a Ford RS Turbo power point.
Well, most Novas are powered by 1600 rather asthmatic Volkswagen Beetle engines. So what did you have to do to fit an RS Turbo in there?
What I did was I actually contacted a gentleman who specialises in building dragsters because I felt that I wanted a job done that was actually going to work. Sure. And what he was able to do is he produced a purposely fabricated flywheel and a clash assembly, and installed the engine to make with using adapter plates, obviously, to its gearbox.
So what sort of BHP have you got going through there?
It's been calibrated at just over 140 brake horsepower.
When you've been involved in the kit car industry for a number of years, you come across characters, and most of them have got dreams and ideas, and they really want to make the car of their dreams, and some of them actually manage to do so. I bumped into a man, in 1979, a guy called Hugo Henriksen, a nightclub owner of all things. A mild, not wild guy, but his sense of what he wanted to produce was something else. We saw some drawings, and then he actually did it. And this has to be one of only about 6 cars that were ever made. This is a Henson M30. So there you have it, the Newark Show 1998. A great turnout of clubs, a tremendous selection of cars, some new cars, some old cars, and some real historic ones. That's all from us. See you next time. I'm off for a burger.
For the National Street Rod Association, this is the big meet of the year, making the impressive billing event look like a local swap meet.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's our winner. Give him a big round of applause. Come on. Here we go for race in the final. And Gary off firing very quickly indeed. Well, Craig's charging hard, but I think it's going to be Gary. Look at the speed of this one. My goodness me. Round the end, slides it round. That's the way to do it. Yes, he's going to be a law-abiding citizen in a few years' time, isn't he? Go! Here we go, the battle of the bros. They look very, very even as they come up. Who's it going to be, Ashley or Adam? Ashley looks to be there first. My God, oh, Joker! Go! They were edging forward a little bit, really keen to get away, urging the car. Going very, very wide, though. It looks as though it's going to be Ashley. Gary charging hard. Ashley! Oh, ladies and gentlemen, give a huge round of applause. Come on. One, go! And Ashley completes that one. Here comes the HART family. It's going to be Ashley from the 3As. So much power. Here's our winner. Do you want to do this when you get older?
Dunno.
Do you like drag racing?
Yeah.
You want to do some drag racing when you get a bit older, do you?
Yeah.
You're pretty nifty on this, aren't you? You enjoy this. Who built the car?
My dad.
It's quite a good dad to you, isn't he?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, you've won a prize. Well done. Trophy presentation later on. Ladies and gentlemen, give them a huge round of applause. Come on.
My name's Andy Smith from Colchester in Essex. This is a 1931 Model A steel, all steel body, two-door sedan, a 318 Chrysler V8, independent front suspension, billet wheels, Mustang back axle. Built it myself on and off over the last 5 or 6 years.
This is Shwayne Daniel from Belgium with his wild Volvo Amazon called Bad Steel. After lowering the roof by 13 centimetres, Shwayne passed his car to Airbrush Willy, famous in Belgium for his work on motorbikes. Willy spent 139 hours on this amazing work of art. Every screw and rivet you see is actually sprayed on with paint. Our cameras couldn't possibly do this paint job justice. You'd have to see it to believe it.
Hello, my name's Dan Donati and my car's a 1934 Ford sedan, hot rod. It's got a small block Chevrolet in the front, IRS Jaguar back suspension, 34 corner front end, which is now rod line. It's taken me up approximately 5.5 years to build, and every penny I've got.
Here we have the 5 overall show prize winners. First we have Russ Pedler.
Give him a huge round of applause, and we just start the engine up. It is the rocket ship to the moon, isn't it, eh?
This is Andy Saunders with his 62 Mercury replica.
Wild and radical schemes for motor cars, but once again...
Next up is Andy House.
Now is so wonderful. We were talking about when I used to come here in the 70s to do the NASC Nationals, and how the small block Chevrolet underneath the hood.
And Ray Austin collects his award.
Built by Ray himself, and the car. And of course the paint is fabulous. Do you know what a Vauxhall Calibra is? No. Well, it's a British...
Finally, Tony Cruz steps up. Top prize is a car chosen by the show's spectators, David Cannon and his Ford Pilot.
Thanks to the NSRA for inviting us down. We have had a fantastic day, and as you can see, everybody's going home, and I'm going with them.